Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Outside the Box. This has been a while since I've done this. It was originally just sort of an experiment to see if you guys would actually like it. Some people actually really liked it. So I'm going to do it again. And this time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a little bit of a theme with this one, a sponsorship theme. So if you guys don't realize, we're going to be talking about all of my cars from everyone's favorite candy brand. Of course, it's gotta be Twix. Obviously Twix. It's just, look at all the Twix cars there. Just so amazing. Alright, it's M&Ms. But still, I think M&Ms is now one of the most iconic sponsors in NASCAR history. Probably due to their sponsorship with Kyle Busch, but I think the most memorable driver for me is Elliott Sadler. I think when he drove 38 team for a while. That was probably one of the most iconic because it's home to one of my favorite schemes of all time. I'll talk to that when I get there, but we're going to go ahead and start off with the big 124 on the back, because this right here is the earliest M&M's car I own. This is the 1999 Ernie Irvan Pontiac. This is the first year that I'm going to move it. So this was the first year M&M's was the full-time sponsor for the Mars Corporation. Oh gosh. But, yeah, so I think for a while it was Skittles from, 96 to 98 was, when Skittles was the main sponsor. They do still sponsor, as you can see on the there, you can probably see, it says Skittles right there. Yep, right there. Skittles still sponsored, but not nearly to much magnitude as M&M's does now. They still, Skittles still sponsors today as well, but it's M&M's nowadays. But I think this car is really well done. I think, this car is iconic, in a certain scenario. But just how the car looks, I think, the yellow really, it was a car that was really easy to find because I think all the Mars Corporation cars are easy to find. With the 36 team, it was really easy to find it because the cars are so colorful. But this car, I really like that sort of just plain yellow car with the brown letters. I just really like how that looked. And then you got the little characters on the back, on the side. You got little yellow guy, the yellow one in the back. I keep thinking they have names, but I don't think they do. But I think this you can tell it was probably because it was just something that Racing Champions did. These they look cartoony, kind of. They don't look like 3D. They kind of look 2D. They don't look like, they look like something out of what was the brand? Shoot, it's just I know what it is. I just can't. It's Golden Gate Books or whatever, a golden book or whatever. I have a whole lot of them. I don't even know if we still have them or not, but with the golden binding, it looks like something out of those types of books. But this car is really well done. Everything on this car looks great. Stinks that Ernie Irvan didn't really get to drive this car too much because I think he had a career-ending crash in '99. So it's a shame. I know Jerry Nadeau drove this car a lot, and then Ken Schrader, who drove it for a few seasons. But I really like how this car looked. And then after a few years, we swapped that out. And then we get my earliest 164 M&M's car, which is the 2002 M&M's car. You might have recognized this one from the first stop motion I've done, but this car is really good. It's really identical to the first car, almost because you can see the M&Ms are pretty much in the exact same order, almost. I think the only difference on the hood is just the pedigree logo, which it looks like they moved the M&Ms to the side a bit more to make way for that. But I don't think this car ever won before. No, they didn't. Never won because Schrader didn't win anything after 90, but 1990. But other than that, the car looks relatively the same. I think the only difference, is how the characters look on the sides. And I think the Snickers logo as well. It was a pedigree logo on the 1999 car. But This is like going my way on there. It's a cool car. It's still got that aesthetic, like that sort of 90s M&M aesthetic with the bold yellow car and the brown letters. I also really like that font as well. I think it was like, it looks like it's painted on the side. I think it's cool. So, and two, don't want that. It's also Pontiac, which is one of my favorite manufacturers of all time because it just looked really cool. Just everything looks so cool. They were slow as heck, but they were fun to root on. I think like JGR was like the only good Pontiac team when they were around. But so that's 2002. Moving on to the car I mentioned earlier, which is by far one of my favorite NASCAR paint schemes of all time, Elliott Sadler's 2003 car. This car is just beautiful. It is just absolutely beautiful. It's just like, I think the white letters stand out a bit more. I mean, like, different to, like, the brown letters, but I think these look a lot cleaner. Like, the car looks much cleaner than the 2002 one. But, I mean, like, it looks like, I think it's just, like, how the car transitions from yellow to brown. It looks like it just looks like chocolate on the inside. I think that looks really cool. Just how well the car looks on the front just looks amazing. And this right here, you might not know this if you're like a youngster, but back in the day, the 164s had open hoods. And you got like that. I think that's like a 2001 or like 2000. Because that doesn't look anything like the modern on what's on the rest of this car. But the characters are much bolder on there. Looks really cool. Don't know why Shell is on the car, because I think they didn't sponsor that year. But it's not like, but I know like the Halloween one didn't have that. It had like a juice sponsor or whatever. They got like Pedigree moved over as well. Looks like they're part of the Coca-Cola Racing family. I don't remember anything with that, but it's also an adult collectible. So you got like Winston Cup and Bud on there. The back TV panel though, this is something I just love on this car. Just it's chipping the font away, like the car chipping away to the chocolate color almost, and just the yellow M&M on there just looks amazing. It just looks great on the car. I think if I could ever find like a real version of this back panel, I would buy it. Like I would definitely want to have it. That'd be like the one thing I would want, like from an actual, like a piece of sheet metal. This back part would definitely be it, because I love this back part. And just the number font. This right here, however, is the only Elliott Sadler car I have that's actually in an acceptable condition. The only other one I have is the 2005 car, and I got that when I was like 6, so it's really beat up. But anyways, this car looks really cool. I love it. So, alright, moving on to my next acceptable car. I got this at in 2010 at Joe Gibbs's headquarters. That was on my big Charlotte trip in 2010 when I went down to North Carolina for a vacation. And I got a whole lot of die-casts. This is back when they were like $5. I probably I think I forced my mom to spend like $200 on merchandise. I regret doing that. But that's why now I buy my own cars myself. So anyways, here we go. My next car. This one is Kyle Busch's 2010 car. Now this one, I genuinely don't like just the standard hood nowadays. I really want to see if we can get a hood similar to like 2003 where it looks cooler. But this car, it's alright. I mean, like, I genuinely don't think that like the minimal amount of like M&M, like the logo on there doesn't look well, because like if you look at a regular spot and you don't know like, oh, what's this supposed to be, like I'm pretty sure everyone would be like, whoa, are you stupid? This M&M's. But I mean, like, it looks cool. This was back when they had like 2 characters on each side. I wasn't really a fan of that. I mean, like, still, it's still a nice looking car, but and then it's the Forbidden Wing. This was, I think, it was the year when it went off. I think it was, what was it, like Keselowski's Atlanta flip that caused them to stop with that. I don't know, something along that line, because it was way too easy to flip with the wing on, so. But overall, not a bad car. Pretty cool. Alright, moving on to 2012. This one right here, this one, I don't know, I think it was a pretty decent year for Kyle Busch. Don't like the front end of the car, though. It looks way too high up for me. I don't know, it doesn't look right. Probably because I'm more used to the modern Camry look, but I like the wavy chocolate on the bottom. I don't know, because it's not liquid chocolate in there. But then we got the brown M&M. I've hated the brown M&M for so long. She's so annoying. But yeah, we got that. I still think the back isn't too bad. I really like the how the whole scared expression on the red M&M though, because it kind of reminds you of the old days, when they were just like, oh Bush, we're stuck in a car, oh no, ah! But I mean, this wasn't a bad scheme. I think it's pretty good, but yeah. All right, moving on from 2012 to 2014. I know I'm about to trigger a whole lot of people about this car, but I genuinely think this is probably the worst M&M scheme ever, because it's just a mess. It's just a mess. Just the hood is just an absolute mess. It's confusing. It's just the minimal amount of it's just so minimal. Just so it's just like an eyesore. There's just way too much going on in the car. I genuinely don't like the rear as well, like the America's Favorite Nut, because that was supposed to be on his Daytona 500 car. And it just, it looks out of place on the rest of this car, because there's hardly a transition on these cars. But, I mean, this looks like one of those, if you take away all the M's and you take away all the characters, it looks like one of those, paint scheme templates in a NASCAR Thunder game or whatever. It just looks so bad. And I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but it just does not look good. But alright, moving on to 2014 to Kyle Busch's first championship in 2015. And I feel like it's championship, C-H-I-P. I knew it was. I feel like we have a Mandela effect right here or something, because I recall it was championship, not championship. It's just, I still call it championship because it sounds better than championship. But, alright, we got you, Kyle Busch. Now, this one I think was the very first year they didn't do yellow on the car. And I think this is the only year they've done that. I really like how they have M&Ms back in the hood. Takes you back to the old days. I like that. I love that. The hood reminds me of the 2003 car a lot. I love this hood. If they did that with the yellow car, I would, fall in love with this thing. I think this is when they were doing crispy M&Ms. They're alright. It reminds me of, Hershey Crackle. I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, it's a cool car. This was back in 2015, that infamous year where Kyle Busch literally rode the chase, literally used the chase to his advantage. But his vantage, what am I talking about? But just all the crispy. You'd think this was a secondary scheme, but no, this was his primary scheme in 2015. Not too bad. I think this is another car. I know Matt Crafton drove this car at one point. I think because he was one of the only drivers I met at the time. But it's a pretty cool scheme. I like it. Alright. That's almost all of them. We got one more left. You guys know what I'm talking about. The scheme you have seen more than enough times in random cuts. We have Kyle Busch's modern scheme. This is, I think, this is his 2017 car. But the car has not changed ever since. And I genuinely don't like that, because I genuinely feel like they should at least change the characters around every single year. Because they did that in the old days with the 36 car. They did that where they would, every once in a while, they would change the car. They would change the characters around. The car would still remain, almost relatively the same, but they would switch the characters around every single year. either doing different poses or have like different characters in each spot. It's been like the red M&M on the side and the yellow M&M on the other side for the past like 4 years or so. And I think they should change it around. Maybe even bring back the little M&M on the hood kind of deal. I mean, like I think the 3 M&Ms on the hood are cool, but I would like to see like this come back because that would look cool. But I think this car is relatively simple. Eye popper. It's kind of sad not to see any like characters on the back though, because I would like to see that again. But I mean, like, it's not too painful to look at compared to 2014. Like, it's a lot more easy to like process. But overall, not a bad scheme. I think it's really cool. So yeah, that's I think that's all I have today outside the box. Almost 16 minutes talking about M&M's cars. So if I had to rank every single car, I think I'm going to talk only about the 164s. I'm not going to count the big boy back there. But I think starting from worst and then working my way up to best. Worst, easily the old-fashioned bleh 2014 car. I don't know why I called it old-fashioned. Second worst, I would say the 2012 car. I mean, like, it's nothing thrilling. In the middle, I'd say his modern car. Like, it could be better. I think his next car would be his 2010 car. I didn't mention this before, but I think I like the little like toolbox thing on the bottom. That's what I'm putting, because it gives the car a little bit more brighter colors, and I like that. Next best, I'd say, is 2015. A little bit out of the ordinary. I like the hood. Looks really cool. I know we got his 1999-2002 car, and then, of course, 2003 as my favorite car of all time. All right. So anyways, guys, thank you all for watching the video. What would you like to see next? If I have a car, I got a couple cars coming soon. I might talk about a couple Dale Jr. cars, but if you guys have a nice little request, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll see you all next time. And I don't know what I'm supposed to say next, but epic monster jam moment. Pew 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 pew. I don't know what I'm doing.